The Mavs made a series of moves in the last couple of days, aiming to get back to the finals. Can they do it? Will there be further trades after acquiring one of the best shooters, Klay Thompson? Let's find out. First, let's summarize the Mavs trades until July 2nd. Out are Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, and Derrick Jones Jr. In are Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, and Klay Thompson. Here's the current Mavs roster. Guards, Luka Dončić, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Dante Exum, and Jaden Hardy. Forwards, Maxi Kleber, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Markieff Morris. Centers, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively II. The big question is, can this roster get back to the finals? The trades have been a mixed bag. No doubt, Klay Thompson's acquisition is a huge upgrade over Josh Green or Tim Hardaway Jr. Klay might not be as lethal as before, and he struggled a bit last season, but he still averaged 38.7% beyond the arc with 3.5 made threes per game. That's elite shooter performance. As the playoffs progress, Klay, Kyrie, and Luka may share guard duties, meaning one of them might start from the bench. But with all three playing 30-plus minutes, this shouldn't be a big problem for Jason Kidd. Klay chose the Mavs to prove he can win another championship after leaving the Warriors, so it shouldn't be a big deal for him. Defensively, Klay isn't the same as during his prime, but he's still a strong wing defender, especially compared to Tim Hardaway Jr. However, the trade involving Derrick Jones Jr. worried me a bit. Letting Derrick Jones Jr. leave to sign Najee Marshall instead seemed questionable. Derrick signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Clippers, while Najee Marshall signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Mavs. First, there's a $1 million annual difference between those contracts, but the state taxes made a huge difference. I'm not living in America, so if my calculation is wrong, please correct me. With 13.3% state taxes in California, Derrick Jones actually gets less than what he could get in Texas, where the state taxes are 0. Second, I doubt Derrick wanted to leave on his own since this roster made it all the way to the NBA Finals. Why would he want to go to the Clippers? For Nico Harrison, who said Jones was called priority 1A and 1B, but a change in agents made negotiations tough, I just don't buy it. It's not like Jones signed a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Clippers, and let's say Jones insisted on the same deal, which is $1 million more than what Dallas offered to Marshall. It's hard to believe Nico Harrison would say they couldn't afford it, which leaves the only reason being they wanted to replace him with someone who has better offense. Is Najee Marshall better than Derrick Jones? Derrick Jones already demonstrated his value during the Mavs Western Conference playoff journey. In the first round, he effectively guarded Paul George. In the second round, he was the primary defender on SGA. During the conference finals, he took on the challenge of defending Anthony Edwards. True, he didn't excel in the finals, but neither did anyone on the Mavs. Can Najee replicate Derrick's defensive impact next season? I have my doubts. Najee hasn't proven to be an elite defender, and his athleticism doesn't match the slam dunk champion, Derrick Jones. In the first round last season against the Thunder, Najee struggled to contain SGA, frequently getting beaten on drives and committing fouls. Offensively, while Najee's three-point shooting is better than Jones's, his off-ball movement is limited. He often waits in the weak side corner for catch-and-shoot opportunities, lacking the dynamic alley-oops we saw between Luka and Derrick Jones. I imagine the primary goal for the Mavs next season is to get back to the finals. It's likely the other team may not be the Celtics. Let's focus on the West first. Without an elite wing defender who is going to guard Anthony Edwards, SGA, Jamal Murray, or possibly DeJounte Murray, De'Aaron Fox, or even Ja Morant. They need a Jaden McDaniels-type defender for their perimeter defense, but the current roster makes it hard to find someone with that ability. Besides, those guys already built a working chemistry to the finals. Why make a change in that position likely to be a downgrade? Back to the Celtics. We remember when the Nuggets won the 2023 champions, it seemed like another dynasty might come, but it didn't. In the last 6 years, there were 6 different teams who won the championship. After a series of trades, the top Eastern team isn't a team they can easily sweep. Last season, almost every superstar in the East got injured before the playoffs. Would that happen again? Let the Eastern teams worry about how to defeat the Celtics, while the Mavs should focus on the West first. That's my point. So is that it? Not exactly. Quentin Grimes we haven't mentioned. I'll add a bit of background information since his career was in the East the whole time. His first 2 years with the Knicks were all right, but he struggled beyond the arc during the 22-23 playoff journey. As a second-year rookie, it was acceptable, but last season, ignoring the 6 games he played in Detroit, his three-point percentage dropped to 36%, and his field goal percentage dropped to 39.5%. His free throw percentage improved a little bit to 70.6%. At least he can join the free throw training camp with the rest of the Mavs players this offseason. His on-ball defense is not bad. He's 6'5" and 200 pounds, a strong guard with active hands, although his steal stats are not that impressive. The options would be him and Najee Marshall sharing the small forward position. If he can keep his threat beyond the arc, then this would be a good addition. The problem he may have is navigating screens, but last season the Mavs switched on almost every position. If they insist on this tactic, then he is a defender I would say is a little above average. Any further trades that can be made? They are close to the first apron, but should be fine. They still have Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell combined at $15 million who can be sent away for a wing defender. But I would be really careful about this. The Mavs may observe how the current roster performs at first. If Najee Marshall or Quentin Grimes do not perform as expected, the Mavs can seek a trade in the middle of the regular season. Maxi Kleber, despite not playing well against the Celtics, is still unique. He can play as a stretch center or share the time with PJ Washington. His contract is only $11 million. The Mavs can send him away, but for whom? A good wing defender with an average three-point threat around $15 million. Currently, I don't have a perfect candidate in mind. Size is still important in the West, and his struggle may be because of his shoulder injury that happened in the first round. Overall, if Nico Harrison had kept Derrick Jones Jr. instead of Najee Marshall, I would give him an A+ for everything he did until now, this offseason. But the current roster is still a strong candidate for the next NBA Finals. What do you think? Will the Big Three in Dallas advance to the finals again next season? Do you think further trades are needed? Who do you have in mind to improve the Mavs roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the other team analyzing this offseason. Let's see how the Mavs move next.